The Final Shift. The abandoned St. Augustine Hospital was infamous in the area for its chilling stories. Locals claimed weird things happened there, shadows moving without light, footsteps echoing down empty hallways, and whispers coming from nowhere. The hospital had been shut down decades ago and turned into a ghost story, a place everyone avoided, but not Emily. A young journalism student, she was determined to make a name for herself by creating a documentary about abandoned places. She'd read everything about the hospital beforehand. The backstory was terrifying. In the 1970s, a string of mysterious deaths among patients and staff led to its closure. The last nurse on duty had vanished halfway through her shift, only to be found dead in the operating room. Her face, they said, was frozen in sheer terror. One cold night, Emily decided to go in. She brought a flashlight, a night vision camera, and a recorder. The hospital's front doors, which should have been locked, creaked open with an eerie groan. The first hallway was pitch black. The walls were damp and the floor creaked under her boots. As she walked, she heard a faint, metallic clink, like something small had been dropped. She swung her flashlight toward the noise, but the hallway was empty. Probably just something falling, she muttered, trying to steady her nerves. After a while, she reached the old pediatric ward. She imagined how lively it must have been back in the day. Kids laughing, nurses bustling. Now it was nothing but decay. On a dusty desk, she found a group photo of the hospital staff. The doctors and nurses stared back at her, their expressions oddly somber. When she glanced at the picture again, she swore she saw a shadowy figure standing in the background that wasn't there before. Moving on, she came across the elevator. Its doors were slightly ajar, revealing the dark shaft behind them. But something was off. The panel displayed a floor that didn't exist on the hospital's blueprints. "What the hell?" she whispered, recording the scene with her camera. Eventually, she reached the operating room, the spot every legend mentioned. This was where the last nurse had died. Her flashlight cast long shadows over the operating table, which still stood in the middle of the room. Surgical tools lay neatly arranged, as if waiting to be used. Suddenly, she heard a faint rustling sound. Whipping around, she saw nothing but the empty room. Her camera began glitching, the screen showing static. She decided to ask aloud, "Is anyone here? Can you give me a sign?" For a moment, silence. Then, the distinct sound of footsteps slowly approaching. Her flashlight flickered, and the air turned icy cold. "This can't be real," she whispered, backing up against the wall. In the corner of the room, she saw it, a figure. A nurse in a blood-stained uniform, her face blurry and distorted like someone had erased parts of it. "Why did you come here?" the figure asked, its voice crackling like a radio stuck between channels. Emily tried to run, but the door she came through wouldn't budge. The figure started moving toward her step by step. When it was just a few feet away, the room plunged into darkness. The next morning, Emily didn't return home. Weeks later, a group of thrill-seekers broke into the hospital and found her camera. The last recording ended with her terrified scream and the blurry image of the nurse standing over the operating table. Lie or truth? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Bye.